with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth. We just stand up and fight, walk into the night. We're the people, we can do it if we try. I know we can do it. Somebody asked me, why do we have to go through it? It's just a test of our faith. But we're living day to day. We don't know where, we don't know when. But it's coming back again. Oh, yes, it is. It's made me. Oh, God. It's time for you to return. Oh, me. I know. Time to make a change.
Oh, yeah, it's that time to make that change. Welcome to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. We count it all joy to be together with you on this day. So much happening per usual. Harvard University stands their ground as President Trump continues his crusade against colleges and universities in these United States of America. I wonder what it was that pushed them over the top, Doc. But unlike Columbia, they saying, bring it on, baby. We're going to fight you for them funds. Yes, we are. And then the all-woman crew that went into space, kind of, sort of, it was like a 12-minute thing. Some people are saying this was nothing more than a stunt. What do you think? Is this a giant leap for womankind, or was it just a private sector stunt? I don't know. Dr. West and I will talk about that just a little bit. But before we get to all of this riveting stuff that is happening in our world, the doctor is absolutely in the house. Dr. West, what is on your heart, your soul, and your mind on this day?
My dear sister, always a joy to be here. Always a joy to know we got that audience out there who is taking us seriously, wrestling with what we have to say, and hoping, I think some of them praying, that we can be a force for good. My mind is on this Holy Week. You know what I mean? You think this weekend, Palm Sunday, Jesus of Nazareth comes in on a mule, people up, giving him a standing ovation, massive applause. They've got their palms, waving their palms, saying that you are the one. We salute you. We honor you. And here it is on Tuesday. He only got 2.5 more days. He's going to be on the cross. Those same people, so fickle, so gullible, smiling in his face. Remember that wonderful song written by Barrett Strong and Norman Whitfield? Smiling faces sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't tell the truth. Tell lies, and I got proof.
Yes, backstabbers.
The evil lurking within. That was number 2 song, Rhythm and Blues, 1971. The summer of 71, and it was a powerful, powerful song. And you think, for example, these days under the Trump administration, where people, yes, they're capitulating, they are giving in, but you still got a lot of smiling folk who are going one way and their actions are going somewhere else. So it's hard to trust folk. It's hard to take folks seriously. Not enough people saying what they mean and meaning what they say. They posing, they posturing, and you can't create trust. You can't create reliability of people are just posing and posturing. And this is true across the board. You know, you got GOP that is completely given in to fascism. And you got the Democrats who might say one thing, but when they test it, they don't come through on the execution. And you got a lot of leftists out there that are deeply upset and things, but have a tremendous time trying to generate some kind of organizational capacity. And I say that self-critically about myself and many others, that our voices are strong and we will remain strong. But how I wish we could come together in an organizational, institutional, and infrastructural way. And you think to yourself, we're on the way to Calvary on Friday. The scandal of the cross, the crushing of unarmed truth and unconditional love. The Roman Empire crushing this Jesus who went straight to the temple and overthrew the money changers and ends up on a cross, and very little possibility of what would happen after that long, dim, grim Saturday where God is dead. People don't like to talk about that Saturday between Good Friday and Easter.
Yeah.
Most Americans won't identify with winter, so they jump to Easter quick and don't want to deal with Good Friday or Saturday. Some of these churches, Jesus has arisen. Jesus has arisen on Thursday, ain't been crucified yet. That's so American. It's childish. It's juvenile. They don't want to go through the cross. No crown without a cross. No. The suffering, the wounds, the bruises, the humiliation. Yes, that's part and parcel of trying to make it through adverse circumstances so that we see the evidences of Easter, and then we're surprised by joy, genuinely surprised by joy on Easter. Why? Because all of the disciples desert him. It's Mary Magdalene, supposedly a street woman. Oh, she's a golden woman. And her friends are there with Jesus when Jesus emerges. For Christians like myself, I know we got a lot of folk not Christians. We understand that.
Yeah.
But for those of us who are surprised by joy on Easter morning, if we don't understand the dimness of Good Friday, if we don't understand the gullibility of the same crowd that called for him to be crucified and giving him standing ovation on Palm Sunday, then we don't understand really what it is to be human in a world of overwhelming suffering and domination, and yet also a world where redemption and hope is still possible.
Still possible, Doc. I mean, as the story goes, when Pontius Pilate gave a choice between Jesus and Barabbas.
That's it.
Oh, they chose.
Give us Barabbas.
That's what they said. They said give. I kind of feel like that's the moment we in right now, right?
Oh, ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. People get a chance to fundamentally choose against racism, against misogyny, against greed, against hatred. They're just too often seduced by it, because that's where the power is. That's where the money is. That's where the status is. That's where the position is. That's where the spectacle is.
That's it. Oh, it's easy to be seduced, Doc. Well, in this Holy Week, Doc just laid it out. Smiling faces. We encourage you to go listen to that song. That song is dynamite and it's timeless. Timeless. And the posing and the posturing. When we come forward, we will continue our discussion. You're listening to Truth Time.
Speaking truth to power and to the powerless. This is Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving Black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% Black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of Black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of Black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature, or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting, on Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nee Cordelai Corte, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors to community leaders, and experts as we commemorate day 100 since the wildfires flared up. And we discuss where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire, 100 Days and Counting Town Hall, Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. The first 100 attendees will receive a complimentary air purifier. This is a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. To thine own self be true. More of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner coming your way right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, yeah, right now. Again, we count it all joy that we are together today. If you are just joining us, welcome. If you've been here with us since the top of the hour, we sending you all kinds of love. Make sure you download the KBLA Talk 1580 app. If you have not done so, you must do that. And guess what? If you've missed any parts of this show or any other show, you can catch us wherever you listen to your podcast. And as a matter of fact, you can catch all our colleagues as well. And that goes for Brother Tavis, Brother Jesse Jackson, Dr. Cornel. I mean, just the whole crew, baby. The whole network is all that, Doc. And 2 bags of Lay's barbecue potato chips. I just want to throw that out there. Yes. So that this is Holy Week for those who are Christians, those who worship in the Christian tradition. And Doc, you were laying out the posing and the posturing, the smiling faces is the song you gave for the theme, which I love that. Yeah, maybe we should give some theme songs. You do that often for every single show. Smiling faces is it on this day. And then something else that you said that stuck to me like glue, the scandal of the cross. My.
Lord. The dominant ways of the world are hatred and greed and envy and resentment and domination, subjugation, exploitation. And yet the cross cuts across all of that. That's why it makes no sense. It's the folly of the cross in the eyes of the world. It's the foolishness of following a Jesus who looks at the dominant ways of the world and turns the world upside down and says, no, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And what you do for the least of these is the highest measure of greatness. So the Genghis Khan and Napoleon and the folk who Trump thinks are so great ain't nothing but gangsters. Don't go that way. That's the dominant way of the world. Gangsterism, thuggishness, and so forth. That's the dominant way of the world. We got to go another way. We got to be in the world, but not of the world. Don't get me to get talking about
I'm getting you started, Doc. This
Holy
Week.
You got me started now. We can
get started. We're getting started on Holy Week. We're gonna dip some of that Holy Week into like just everything that we're talking about today. So, Doc, I'm gonna navigate us. I want to give our audience kind of the contours of one of the stories that we're just kind of thinking about today, and that is the war, actually just all-out war that this president has declared on higher education, and especially those institutions that they give money to. So it is really kind of hostage taking in a way, but this is what he's doing. So he's doing it all over the country. In his ire right now is Harvard University, which you know a whole lot about, Dr. West. So the federal government on Monday night said it was freezing more than $2 billion in grants to Harvard University. This reporting that we're lifting up today is coming from NBC News. And that was after the school said that it was not going to accept the Trump administration's, I won't even say guidelines. It was more like demands that they include auditing, that they audit the viewpoints of their students. I mean, first of all, how does a college or a university do that? Number one. Number two, why would they do that? And number three, why is the Trump administration, with all that is happening in our country, from unhoused people to hungry people to, people not making enough money to make ends meet without having to work 3 or more jobs, with all of that stuff percolating to war, Doc, how do they have time to focus in on and zero in on colleges and universities and then just demand that they audit the activities and behaviors of their students? Mind you, these students are paying to go there, by and large. I mean, we know there's some legacy students there who ain't paying a dime, but I'm put them in the parking lot. The students are the consumer, the students are the client, the students are the customers at these institutions. They're paying, and or their parents, and then they got the pure unadulterated gall to say that the university has to police these students in this way. Don't make sense to me, but maybe I'm missing something.
I hear you. I hear you. No, I mean, the motto of Harvard is Veritas. When I arrived there over 55 years ago, it was, they said, we are concerned with truth. That's truth for Latin. Now, we know that beloved Harvard ain't never been fundamentally concerned about the truth. From 1636 to 2025.
Yeah.
You got levels of blindness and shortcomings. You got women couldn't arrive and set foot in classes in any egalitarian way until 1970, which is my class. So 1636 to 1970, it's all men. But already you showed the patriarchy and misogyny forms of blindness. And it's been deeply racist. We know black folk really didn't come in numbers until my class in 1970 or so. That's from 1636 to 1970. Then you got class issues. Poor, brilliant folk couldn't go to Harvard for the most part. It was for the well-to-do. They had vicious quotas against Jews and discrimination against Catholics. Now, that doesn't mean that you haven't had some magnificent folk to come through Harvard. We start with W.B. Du Bois and go on to Paul Sweezy's and others. But so that we don't ever want to think that there was some grand golden age where Harvard was obsessed with truth and then Gangster Trump came along and pulled the rug under. No, not at all. But Trump's attack on not just Harvard, but on higher education that he believes has been the source of the attacks on him. It's revenge, it's retribution, but it's also envy and resentment. You see, Trump wanted to be accepted by those folk. He's an Ivy League person himself. How he got into the University of Pennsylvania is a mystery to me, but he did. How he graduates, a deeper mystery to me, but he did. So he's an Ivy Leaguer. Just like so many of his cronies. They went to Ivy League. They wanted to go there. They wanted the stamp of the reputation, the elite status. But then when they saw the dominant voices in those institutions turn on their right-wing selves, they get upset and they want to take over. Now, the fact that universities allowed themselves to become so dependent on federal funds. He's a private university.
Yeah, that part. And Harvard certainly has a large endowment. I mean, I'm just shocked that the federal government can try to shake them like that. Now, this is all coming from the administration's Joint Task Force to combat anti-Semitism. And they announced the cuts in a statement that called out, and I quote, the troubling entitlement mindset that is endemic in our nation's most prestigious universities and colleges. I don't even know what they mean by that, Doc. That's just saying a whole bunch of nothing. What do you mean? A mentality of entitlement? I mean, it is a prestigious, as defined by American standards, a university. I don't get it. I mean, they just making up stuff, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, it's a lie. The courageous rabbi at Princeton said the truth, which is that certainly there's been some cases, isolated cases, where precious Jewish students have not been treated with dignity. And we got to be deeply concerned about that. Anti-Jewish hatred is as bad as any kind of hatred. But the average experience for most Jewish students at Princeton and Harvard and Yale and Columbia is not one of massive anti-Jewish treatment and hatred. It's just not true. Now, anti-Palestinian hatred, when I was at Harvard, I was the advisor of the Black Gospel Group, Kuumba. I was the advisor of Students for Justice in Palestine. Now, we try to get gatherings of students just for Palestine. We can hardly get a room on campus. That's anti-Palestinian racism. Where is he concerned about anti-Palestinian racism? Not a mumbling word. But you raise your voice against the genocide against Palestinians, and you're viewed as anti-Jewish. Now, you see, there's something sick about that. Not just hypocritical. That's a spiritual sickness. It's selective. You're only concerned with certain groups as opposed to other groups. Anti-Black racism still operates. Not a mumbling word about that. Oh, no. That's why Trump's so concerned about the white African farmers undergoing genocide and giving them refuge in the United States when they less than 10% of the population own 70% of the land
in South Africa.
But you would welcome them with open arms. But you can
Yeah.
trash so many of these other immigrants and snatch some of these folk and send them to El Salvadorian prisons who are U.S. citizens because they are confused with brown undocumented immigrants. So the levels of racism against Palestinians, black folk, brown folk is unbelievable. And this is something that I think we have to be very mindful of, because we have to be very concerned about anti-Jewish hatred. It's an ugly reality. It's been around for 2,500 years. But if Jewish brothers and sisters think that by being protected by Trump, that they will be safe, predicated on all the lies and crimes of the Trump administration, it's going to backfire in an ugly and vicious way. And of course, you know, and I know all the Jewish voices that are not included in that protection, because you got good Jews and you got bad Jews.
Right.
And for Trump, the bad Jews are those who are critical of him, the Jewish Voices for Peace, who are
That's
critical of the genocide and so forth. You don't include them at all. No, they're getting pushed out. Look at Brother Scott here in Columbia, the Jewish brother who was told you are no longer a graduate student, took away his money, took away his status because he's trying to raise moral issues. So the level of hypocrisy and spiritual sickness is just overwhelming when you look at these realities.
Yeah, it is, Doc. And I mean, American people need to wake up. There will be a reckoning. You know what I mean? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Karma, call it what you will. We will not be able to escape this type of hypocrisy, this type of bias, and it's dangerous. And let me center Black people for a minute, Doc. I mean, you're absolutely right. The group that gets the most, you know, I mean, historically in this country has been the African American community, and also the group culturally and just more communally, not all, but I'm just talking communally in a very generic way, that stands up and against, stands up for and fights against any type of bigotry and hate. By and large, is the Black community, the most put upon community in the history of this country, starting with chattel slavery, but all the way through debt peonage, sharecropping, you name it, Jim and Jane Crow, as we talk about all the time. But yet this country does not lift its voice to save and to protect us. Not at all. This is trippy what they're doing, because they're creating a problem where there is no problem. And basically what the university said to the federal government is that you're overstepping your bounds. And so I want to quote what what the Harvard University rejected the administration's demand. And this is a quote from them: "The university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights," end quote. The university's X account said in a Monday statement, and quote again, "Neither Harvard nor any other private university can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government," end quote. So even given Harvard's mixed history, Doc, as you have laid out, never been perfect. They got a lot of truth and reconciliation to do as an institution. And in this case, because more than one thing can be true at once, glad to see them standing up to the president, who's being a bully, and all his cronies being a bully against this university and any other university, even the public universities, which the federal government certainly has. You know, state government controls those institutions, but, you know, federal funds have more of a say. I don't think any of these universities or colleges should bend to this. They should reject hatred in all of its forms, all forms, period, and educate students.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I mean, you certainly want a variety of different perspectives in universities, and universities have been institutions where liberals, not leftists, there's a big radical difference between liberals and leftists, but liberals themselves have had tremendous power in the universities, and oftentimes they've used it against certain conservative voices. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
But now you see the conservatives in power, and they doing exactly what they were upset about of what the liberals were doing. They're using their might to try to crush them. And so all of the Socratic energy, concerned about rational persuasion, concerned about high quality argument, gone. Veritas, neglected, pushed to the side. And it's I guess it's to be expected. We human beings, we're just so wretched so often, though, my dear sister, that when we get in power, we act like we are free from corruption. And we know power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what we're seeing out of the White House. I mean, the thickness of the corruption is so overwhelming that it cannot but backfire. It will not last. It will not endure.
No, it will not. And it's just a vicious cycle. I mean, you're pointing out what liberals did, and they did do this. And you and I, the thing that is beautiful about Truth Time and how we move in the world, we will admit it. We will admit, oh yeah, the liberals did that. Like the whole notion of cancel culture and all that. You cancel somebody every time you turn around. You're trying to cancel somebody without seeking the facts first. The scripture in the Bible, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all other things shall be added unto you. Well, can we seek facts first? They did do all of that. And so again, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so this backlash from the right wingers, and then when left is getting control again, it's going to be, so the American people are going to have to stop this. This is just a vicious cycle. We should not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. When we come forward, Dr. West and myself will continue this lively discussion. You are listening to Truth Time.
The truth will set you free, but first it might raise your blood pressure.
So I'm not driving you, man.
More of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner when we come forward.
I'm Doug Davis, but 4 things you should know from BIN News. Over $2 billion in federal grants to Harvard are frozen as the university rejects the Trump administration's conditions, which include auditing campus viewpoints and penalizing pro-Palestinian protesters, citing efforts to address anti-Semitism. Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network are pressuring PepsiCo to reconsider its rollback of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, threatening a national boycott if the company doesn't respond within weeks. PepsiCo has now agreed to meet with Sharpton. R&B singer Sean Kingston remains in custody at Miami Federal Detention Center after failing to pay his $100,000 bond. His mother, Janice Turner, is still there as well. A jury found that they never paid over $1 million in luxury goods, with sentencing set for July. And taxes are due today, but there's still hope if you haven't even started or aren't done. If you're in a crunch, you need to file for an extension. The key thing to keep in mind is to file your extension today. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
USC forward Kiki Iriefin was the 4th player selected Monday night in the WNBA draft. Iriefin was chosen by the Washington Mystics. The LA Sparks used their first-round pick on Alabama forward Sarah Ashley Barker. The number 77 jersey worn by Lakers star Luka Doncic is the top-selling jersey in the NBA. Doncic is the first player other than LeBron and Steph Curry to lead the NBA in jersey sales since 2013. Doncic, a native of Slovenia, is also the first international player to lead the NBA in jersey sales. For some reason, Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has declined an invitation to attend the NFL draft, scheduled for April 24th in Green Bay. Sanders is projected to be the second quarterback selected. At least 17 players expected to be first-round picks have agreed to attend the draft. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfiresupport@QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
After producing an award-winning climate justice campaign in 2024, KBLA Talk 1580 has gone all in on its 2025 Climate Justice plus Black Health Initiative. April is Minority Health Month, and Urban Family Focus, in partnership with Providence Health Systems, presents The Heart of the Matter. Providence doctors and health equity officers will participate in informative and life-changing conversations on hypertension, health equity, behavioral health, and community engagement. Don't miss these empowering conversations on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 and Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sponsored by Providence, Southern California's largest and most comprehensive healthcare network. We've got a lot to talk about on KBLA Talk 1580. Download the KBLA 1580 app or log in to KBLA1580.com. I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
This is where love and truth meet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
Oh, yeah. Love and truth at all times. Now, this Wednesday, April 16th, is day 100 since the wildfires erupted in Altadena. We're asking you, yes, you, to join us this week for our live nationally broadcast KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall as we commemorate this fateful day. Celebrate the resilience of Altadenans and embrace this beloved Black community. We will be giving away air purifiers and $100 gift cards to survivors. So please come join us on Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in that specific time, all right, for our town hall, the Altadena Eaton Fire 100 Days and Counting. Now, this event is free and open to the public, but you must register. You can find all the pertinent details about the town hall at KBLA1580.com. Again, that's KBLA1580.com. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be, it's hot, Doc. Excuse the pun.
Beautiful thing. And the fact it's really Brother Tavis and the KBLA family who really put a priority on our precious brothers and sisters in Altadena. Just to let them know we care. We see you. We recognize you. We embrace you. We care. Now, we care about others too, but we have a priority on the chocolate side because the chocolate side is always neglected by the powers that be.
Always, unfortunately, on the chocolate side. Let's move, Doc, to our live chat on YouTube. We want to thank all of our viewers who take the time to put their comments in. We know we have many more folks watching and or listening, but this bunch right here, Doc, they love to jump in and share their thoughts. So we got Ben Frank, blessings back to you, Ben Frank. B-Bell of Bad Dog Bullies. Good afternoon, KBLA comrades. B-Bell know I get tickled every time. A blessed peacemaker in the house per usual. It's time to make a change. We are the people who can do it. Love that intro to a good time with Truth Time. Love you, Dr. West and Senator Turner with exclamation points. We love you too, our dear brother. And then no crown without a cross, anointed with tears and the life-saving expensive perfume of a woman. Every person who tortured him smelled of that perfume. And that's Blessed Peacemaker, basically, Doc, breaking it down the way that you did. The women were there in full effect with Jesus.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that massive betrayal is something we don't like to come to terms with. And the fact that it was Peter himself who betrayed Jesus 3 times. And Jesus had told Peter, upon this rock I shall build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So the very foundation of our churches is Peter, and Peter denied him. So you can't have the highest expectation even of the churches. Now, Peter bounced back. He was strong. He bounced back, and himself was crucified and executed. But right at the moment where he was tested, he didn't come through.
He didn't come through, Doc. He was very human in that moment.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, he was very, I mean, even Jesus and to people who are listening and are watching, Dr. West knows that everybody, Dr. West and I, we know that everybody is not a Christian and recognizing the Christian Holy Week and holiday, but we just putting it out there, Doc. Even Jesus got weak in the Garden of Gethsemane and said to his Father, if it be your will, take this bitter cup from me.
That's it. Let this cup pass. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And he's divine. So what we think about us at moments when we're tried and tested, we are in those moments.
And then you got the blues line itself. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Woo, Lord. Good.
It feels like that at times, Doc. It really, really does. It does.
But then the Lord comes back strong. Might not come when you want him,
but right on time. Yes. We got Sister Selena Ricks. Greetings, everyone. It's Truth Time. She put up the hey, I'm here with the smiley face. B-Bell of Bad Dog Bullies again. You can teach ignorant people, but it's harder to teach arrogant people. What a point.
That's true.
Yeah. And ignorance just simply means it's something you don't know. But people get all offended, Doc, when you call them ignorant. That's a bad word when it simply just means you just don't know.
And all of us don't know a whole lot of things. So all of us have certain kind of ignorance. There's no doubt about it. But as she was pointing out, the arrogant and those who suffer from stupidity have simply no will to know truth, no will to pursue truth, not interested in pursuing truth, stuck where they are, stationary, static.
Stuck on stupid.
Stuck on, ooh, Lord, somewhere I heard that. Was it a barbershop, beauty salon, or was it around the block in the club? Stuck on
all of the above.
All of the
stuck on stupid. We got EA in the house. Brother West, what is your response to the Trump administration attack on Harvard cutting funding? So EA, we did cover that earlier in the show. So you got to go back and listen to us. Basically in summation, Doc, if you just want to give a summation for EA about what you thought about that.
Well, I think what we were trying to say is that Trump is wrong to attack any institution of higher learning as if he can dictate what the faculty does, how the students should think, whether in fact any money received is quid pro quo of him extending control over those universities. And at the same time, the universities themselves have to take some responsibility in terms of ensuring that there's a genuine quest for truth, and they have to ensure that they are able to be independent of this kind of governmental control. And if it's all about money, then in the end, they will be controlled.
That's it. I mean, just go ahead and ask Columbia University. Andrea G., good afternoon. Togetherness and unity is needed even more today. Doc, we agree with that. We got so many more folks commenting in the chat, and we do, per usual, appreciate you. You know, Harvard University went on, Doc, to just make it clear that they have policies and procedures to stand up against any type of hate and bigotry, making it clear that they believe that the administration has gone too far. And the administration put out 10 things they wanted them to do, of which we know Columbia University capitulated and said that they would do all 10 of those things. I wondered if by Harvard standing up and saying they're going to fight back, will this give other universities and colleges the spark that they need to say, we're going to fight back too? Your thoughts on that?
I hope so. You got Brother Roth, president of Wesleyan, who's been very strong in this regard. I hope so. The only way they can do it, though, the universities have to come together. You can't be isolated. It's a divide and conquer strategy. We've seen that from the powerful. See it against trade unions, trying to crush trade unions, divide and conquer, trying to crush universities, divide and conquer. Same is true with the media. Wall Street law firms, divide and conquer, keep them isolated. If they all came together and fought the Trump administration, it'd be a new day.
That's right. I wonder, like, they didn't think about, let's have a meeting before the meeting. I mean, it seems like common sense, though. You know, Grandma used to say common sense ain't common.
Common sense not common, because courage is not as widely distributed as it ought to be.
Ain't that the truth here on Truth Time? It makes sense. But you know, that it's not too late, as Harvard is showing. I was surprised when they said they were going to fight back. They went on to say that the government's terms also circumvent Harvard's statutory rights by requiring unsupported and disruptive remedies for alleged harms. Back to the point that you made earlier, there may be some, but it's not as overwhelming as they are saying. And no college or university, even before October 7th, in their right mind would allow this kind of stuff to go on without checking it. Now, we know that over history, there have been moments, especially against the African-American community, but colleges and universities are keenly aware that they got to fight back on this. So Harvard just letting them know, you know, unsupported and disruptive remedies for alleged harms that the government has not proven through mandatory processes established by Congress and required by law. So they quoting back to them the things that need to happen. President Trump, and so the Trump administration is just basically saying that they're working hard to make sure higher education, to make higher education great again. It's that again that gets to me. It does, Doc. That again gets me every time. When we come forward, Doc, I want you to weigh in on that. Make higher education great again. You are listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
It's Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Hi, I'm Joe Montaigne. Let's talk about veteran homelessness, because it's not just a housing issue, it's a human issue. Right now, we need LA property owners to open their doors and give veterans a safe place to call home. With guaranteed rent and dedicated support, you can be part of the solution. Learn how you can help. Email houseourvets@lacity.org.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Truth crushed to earth shall rise again. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, you are indeed, Doc. So as we come forward, or we're forward now, we were talking about the make higher education great again. And I want to throw a caveat in there. Trump is also threatening to cut Harvard's tax exempt status. So again, these threats against folks, I just don't even know how it's allowed in this way. To me, it seems like he's extorting colleges and universities and anybody else that he would make these types of threats to. But, he said he wants to make higher education great again.
No, that's a joke. I'm telling you, the very fact that Gangster Trump can say that he wants to make Harvard great again, given his disqualifications of having any high standard of intellectual excellence manifest in his life, is like me saying, I want to make the National Hockey League great again, and I can't even skate. I don't even like ice. So that you reach a level where you just got to go Richard Pryor on the brother. You know what I mean? Come on, Trump, man. You just a walking joke. The problem is that you headed the most powerful empire in the history of the world. You president of the United States. And so everybody's supposed to defer to you. Well, some people are not going to defer to you. Some people are not going to kowtow to you. Some people can see right through you and will continue to see right through you. That's what we say to brother Gangster Trump. But it's not just him. He's just a sign and a symbol. It's the larger folk around him. It's the 70 million who are frustrated, who are undergoing economic hardship, and there's no alternative, so they go with Trump. But they're not going to stay with him long. No way.
Let's hope. But they're going to toggle back and forth, because unless the other side of the duopoly, gets straight, flies right, we going back and forth like a hockey puck, on the ice, like a ping pong ball.
We're going to have to get beyond the duopoly or the country's going under. And I tell you, people say, well, if we can't get beyond duopoly, then the country itself could be beyond redemption. The empire itself is beyond revitalization. That's a sad possible truth, but it could be very well the truth.
It could be, Doc. Yeah, it is sad. I mean, if what happened with the hands-off is any indication, I know it was 5 million in a nation of over 300 million, but that is, in fact, a big deal. People who study this kind of stuff says, don't just look at the raw number itself. That was a big deal. Now, if we can channel that into some kind of real action,
that's it.
We could really get something done here. So I'm hoping beyond hope. So women were launched into space, you guys. That was all the rage. You had pop star Katy Perry and journalist Gayle King among the 6 women who traveled abroad. Blue Origins, all female. I guess they calling it space tourism, Doc. That is a thing. I need to get with it. Space tourism. Not quite sure.
Yeah, I think you ought to hold off a little bit now. I would hold off.
Hey, they soared above, they at 100 kilometers. It's a point that they call the Kármán line. I think that's how it's pronounced. 62 miles that is often used to define the altitude at which airspace ends and outer space begins. In other words, they can take off their little seat belts and be weightless in space. Weightless in space. When we come forward, we will continue talking about being weightless in space.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
This is where love and truth meet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
I'm back. Weightless in space. Women weightless in space. You say?
I say they ought to listen to Nina Simone sing "Take Me to the Water." She starts defying laws of gravity. She's weightless as she can be, precisely because she's so heavy. That's the paradox of that kind of genius. You're weightless because you're heavy.
Because you're heavy. That's all right. So Blue Origin, we know, I believe that's Jeff Bezos. I mean, they celebrating this stuff like it's I don't know that maybe I need to grab a joy where I can. I don't know. I was not impressed. I will say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what the Gil Scott-Heron said. You sending folk to the moon and got babies that you can't feed.
That part. I guess that's why, because I'm not impressed. I mean, I'm not totally against it, but I'm just saying, what's the big deal when we got so many other things to deal with that some privileged people can navigate outer space a little bit, because they ain't go too far. It was a 12 to 15 minute ride. Why is this important to the countless millions of people in this country and tens of millions of people across the globe who are suffering? I just don't. I don't get it. And I like Sister Gayle King. This is not about Katy Perry. It's not about the individuals. It's just, why are we so amped up about this?
We just in love with distractions and distracted by distractions for distractions and don't want to focus on the things that really matter. Now, again, Sister Gayle and Katie, and we appreciate, their contributions, and we always pray for them as human beings, but they can get caught up in distractions in the same way too.
Yeah, because like Peter, we all just human, right?
All just human. No, that's real.
We just human, Doc. I don't know if this makes women. Do we put this in women are making progress category or not? I don't know. I don't know where this belongs. I do know on this Holy Week, as we come up on Good Friday, Doc said you can't skip the cross, baby, to get to the resurrection. You need to remember that. So this is our word. Do not get weary in well doing. In times like this, it is easy to get weary. To all our Christian sisters and brothers who are celebrating this Holy Week, we are lifting you up. Well, that's it for Truth Time. Dr. West and I want you to live in purpose, live on purpose. And remember, titles are good, but purpose is better. Until next time.
KBLA 1580.
Curry to lead the NBA in jersey sales since 2013. Doncic, a native of Slovenia, is also the first international player to lead the NBA in jersey sales. For some reason, Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders has declined an invitation to attend the NFL draft, scheduled for April 24th in Green Bay. Sanders is projected to be the second quarterback selected. At least 17 players expected to be first-round picks have agreed to attend the draft. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I